we're at the Old War Memorial Hospital in Allen.
Do we want to say
County.
Old War or Scottsville?
Well, it's in Scottsville, Kentucky, so, but the actual name of the hospital was Old War Memorial. If you look at the hospital online, right now it's the Haunted Hospital because this is actually used as a haunted amusement.
Haunted attraction.
Yeah. They open up obviously during the Halloween season, but they also have a February Valentine's Day season as well.
Yeah, I mean, we got here this morning in 28-degree weather, sleeping in the truck. Y'all came in this afternoon a little bit better.
Yeah.
And we went through the place and looked at it a little bit, and there's Halloween props for days in this place.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I can see how people get creeped out in here.
Yeah, no doubt. And this will be one of the last investigations that Ashley's going to be doing with us. She has her young'uns here.
Yeah, both of them.
Till the twins arrive.
They're coming in April, so this is probably my last investigation outside of my local area for probably almost a year.
Not going to be the same without you.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. I think y'all can manage.
Well, who else will we make fun of?
Well, I mean, you'll figure something out, I'm sure.
What are some of the legends in here? One is, I think this is somebody nurse at the end of a hallway that's supposed to be an apparition scene.
Yeah.
And
Dr. Meredith is supposedly. Who was that?
good question.
Oh, that was kind of fun.
I'm going to turn mine off.
Somebody,
I guess we're gonna have to.
Might be Dr. Meredith one of them.
Maybe
Could be. Dr. Meredith?
Looks like we're just interfering with somebody else's
yeah,
channel.
we figured. Got hit
That
channel
happens
too.
sometimes.
somebody said it was. Did you hear that?
They kind of did sound like that, but I mean, it's a common thing to say on the radio.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Are you here, Dr. Meredith?
Call us on the radio.
Yeah.
So we did the tour earlier with the owner, and we're really fortunate to be able to investigate here tonight because they just don't host a lot of private hunts anymore. They do one major one with I think in July or June or something like that. But that's a public hunt, and so we're really fortunate to be able to get here privately.
I tried for about a month to get in here, had no luck, and she gets right on in.
Oh, well.
So.
I think it was just I told him that we were willing to pay whatever, and we're able to.
Not whatever.
Yeah,
But we're willing to pay.
sometimes you can say the right words and people are like, oh, well, now let me name my price.
Yeah.
And the owner was great. We really appreciated his hospitality.
Yeah, showed us around in here,
Yeah.
all the different places and the hot spots in here, and then just turned it over to us.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're really pleased with that. And we're actually sitting and standing in OR room 1. This was actually one of the areas that he said when he first bought the hospital, he was not comfortable walking into, and it took him a while to even be able to make it all the way in this room. And there wasn't necessarily any activity he had other than he said some objects would move. The chair that I'm sitting on now that's broken, actually they put it in the middle of the room just to see if it would get moved because he and several of the actors have said that they've had things move around in the room.
And y'all came with some different trigger objects too this time, didn't you?
Yes, we've got Boo Buddy, which we typically bring Boo Buddy just to see where we can bring him. If you're not familiar with Boo Buddy, it's a teddy bear that does his own EVPs or electronic voice phenomenon questions. And he also has a temperature tracker as well as an EMF tracker. And you set him up side by side with a stationary recorder. We have set him up in the nurse's station near the nursery. There have been several actors here as well as other people throughout that have said that they've heard audible children crying, and it would be so loud that it wouldn't have to be a shh, you got to hear this, everybody be quiet. It would be very loud, multiple people would hear it. And I think I may have heard one at one point, but we didn't have any recorders. We were just coming in, so that was kind of interesting.
Okay.
Joel, did you
Yes.
bring a trigger over you? You okay?
Okay. Hey, she's a nurse.
She's a nurse, yeah.
Yeah.
Trigger object.
You stick your head in and say hi.
Right?
Hello.
Literally, stick your hand. But we got it for 24 hours, and I guess we started when 6, 7, I don't know. Hey, he just said we can have it later too, didn't he?
Yeah, he said that he wasn't planning on coming back till later, so we were fortunate. He said most of the time when he had ghost hunts previously, he got people in and out, but because we're the only group that's been here in a while, he gave us a little bit more freedom. So this again showing you how much, how hospitable he's been to us, and we really appreciate that. So shout out to them, and you know, if you're in this area around Valentine's or October, I'm sure that they're haunted attraction. He said he has 28 actors, and they have a lot of really creepy things that I'm sure you'll get to see as they post more investigation data and stuff.
Did you mention his name?
It's Chris, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember
Last name, but we do appreciate it. Thanks, Chris, and I'm sorry, maybe we'll get his last name later. I'm horrible.
I'm glad I didn't say nothing.
Oh, what's his name?
Yeah, I was trying to think of it
That's
earlier.
it.
Some other things, we walked through the basement, and there were some really creepy vibes there. There have been, the hospital never had an official morgue. It was opened in 1952, he said. It took a couple years to be built because it was built with public funds. And they never officially built a morgue because it was just meant to be a small community hospital. And so the makeshift morgue was the boiler room and machine room. And you guys met some people earlier today, and they said that when they worked here, that room was always a creepy room. So
Yeah, we
really
went around and we talked to a lot of people. We'll have it on this video too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of the different things, and even some of the other places around town that they said were haunted. So, you know.
At one
West
point, we
End.
were all downstairs in that tour, and all of us heard the same noise. So
Like footsteps of us walking.
yes, it was really interesting. So we'll see if we can catch some more EVP work
Hopefully.
downstairs and maybe even upstairs too. We've got like I said, we've got that stationary recorder. I've got a bouncy ball that lights up when moved, but of course we'll have to be present for that. Is there anything else?
I think that's it. I guess we're just ready to get started.
Yep.
You know.
Hey, what do you want to start first? In here, or do you want to go to the boiler room?
I don't know. I really feel like that basement was.
You want to do it first?
I feel like that basement was on fire. I mean, I really do.
Good enough.
Katie's all for it. Katie's all for it. Let's go to the basement.
Let's do it.
Basement,
Let's do it.
do it.
Right? Yeah. Well, we did, and they come from Mississippi, and she come from Denver. Denver?
Denver.
Flying? Yeah, and her arms are tired. Shut up, stupid. I love it.
He's witty.
So none of y'all all came from South. Our hub is Bowling Green. It is literally 20 miles away. Scottsville's in Dry County. There's 1, 2, 3 restaurants and 1 gas station that's open all night. You go 20 miles north to Bowling Green, there's bars, there's strip clubs, there's restaurants, 24/7, anything you want. But yeah, it's just a public service announcement because you're not going to have anything in Scottsville, Kentucky to do except look for a guy.
She didn't get the nickname Trashley for nothing.
And I would go to Bowling Green if you accidentally need a doctor. I would not go to the doctors in Scottsville.
Okay.
Take it home to Bowling Green. Y'all have a great
All right,
time.
you too. All right, be careful.
Okay now.
Thanks.
All right.
Trashly came from my grandmother. It's not because I'm
Just let her clarify. It come from my grandmother. Because she knew my mama. No, I'm a
My
stripper,
mom's
but
name
it's
is
not because
Tracy,
my name.
and she was calling me one day, and she went, Ashley comes here. And my Aunt Joella, who aggravates
She took off with that.
Yeah, that's just what she wants to tell everybody. She saw her, she met her first boyfriend. She's like, you trashy girl.
Walking through.
Hey, Chris.
Yes, sir. Let me out of your way so you can take a picture.
There's something that Mark told us about. They see a nurse sometimes smoking.
Is this the area?
This door back here. A mirror smoking?
Oh, I don't know.
No,
A nurse smoking a
it's a
cigarette.
nurse, and people have seen her. You can even see like
This
the red
door. I thought
indicator.
you said something about a mirror smoking for a second.
Said something
Mirror.
about the steps. So this
Yeah.
must be
That
it.
hall that ends right there.
Uh-huh.
That if you're standing, it's hard for me to explain, but y'all just went through with me. It's the hall that's right above us. There's a chain link fence there. And I think I told you, I said, you see a lot of apparitions and stuff down this hall, right there.
Okay.
It's just the other side of this door, and she looks like she's coming toward you, but not walking. It's like she's slowly getting closer to you.
Oh, let's.
Is that-
It's definitely a nurse.
Is there a way we can get out that door?
It's
I
definitely
hope.
tell it's a nurse.
Okay.
Nurse's hat and everything.
Is there a way we can get out that door, or is it?
To get out it,
Yeah, it's very easy.
Get back in is probably a little bit.
well, you have to lock it on the
Okay,
inside.
I'm the trigger.
It's very,
Yeah, right.
very rigged up. All it is a barn latch with a bolt through it on the inside. So you get back there, put a light out, and you can see the barn latch. Just pull the bolts out, but make sure it gets put back in.
Okay.
And you're taking your life in your own hands on the steps.
Steps are a different story.
Yeah, you're taking that's your risk right there.
Are your keys still in there?
Probably hanging out of
Yeah.
it.
I just wanted to make sure you didn't leave them when you were. Well, thank you for the tour. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. I'd say,
That's enough information without just
yeah. But when you were walking back around and showing them the machine and boiler room, just the feeling of that.
Well,
other
we all
hall,
heard.
the
All of us that
voices.
were standing there heard
Yes,
something.
Yeah.
but that door to the right as you're walking
Yeah.
down the hallway that's not been
Almost
messed
to
with
the
a lot.
end.
It's where they would stay when they weren't busy.
Yeah.
It was almost like we were walking. I could see a shadow walk.
My dad worked here as a medic,
Uh-huh.
early 80s. Then he went to Thomasville later. I say he was here about 5 years. And he got locked in one of the last rooms on the right. If you're going this way, that hall that I said is unmolested, one of the last couple of rooms on the right there, the door just shut and he couldn't get out when he was working a night shift. But all the nurses, if you happen to run into a nurse that worked there when it was open, they were all terrified of that hall in the basement, even when it was open. They said it felt bad. They saw us. I don't know if you do voice recordings, you're able to catch something, or you just want to try to communicate with something. Dr. Meredith.
That's it.
Dr. Meredith.
That's the one.
He was something else. They kicked him out of the hospital, and then he sued the state to be reinstated, and it was a big mess. There's news articles and stuff on it. My dad worked here back then, but I mean, that's going way back. He started here in the mid to late 50s and was here until they just made him leave sometime probably in the late 70s, early 80s. Malpractice.
Was it age or was it intentional or?
I've read some articles in the archives, but I can't remember a lot of details. I had a serious brain injury and was in a coma, and my memory is shit. It's terrible. And I've read some articles and archives. I know it's, I don't think it was just one incident. I think it was that the community was starting to make an episode, make a point of it. It almost got to the point where it was like a joke that doctor. Yeah. So
Are there any other places where children besides the nursery area?
that's the only one that I have, and that I've heard anybody else mention it. But that's my spot. I love it up there because that's where that hall where they meet, and that corner is where I heard the little boy's voice. I've heard the children crying so many times.
Well, if I hear
there.
kids crying, that's gonna freak me out a little bit.
It's
I can handle somebody screaming.
That's just a general
And it's
consensus.
not-
Seems like a lot of people hear
It's
that.
not one of those
Everybody
things where you
talks
just like, shh, what was that? I mean, it's
So
apparent.
we have a Boo Buddy. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's a teddy bear that does
Yeah.
EMF and stuff like that, and does his own EVPs. And so I was just making sure because that's where I was going to leave him unless
no,
there was
that's-
another place. That was better.
Anywhere there's a nurse's station there where it tees anything, either direction from the nurse's station to the Elliott nurse's station's a good spot, or even just at the nurse's station itself. And that closet there at the nurse's station is where I had the little boy talk to me. And then my other favorite is the operating room up there. But a lot of other people have a whole lot of activity in this long basement down here, so.
You can feel that. We
Yeah.
both just stopped.
Yeah.
That's why I see that one. I don't feel anything there, but the operating room, yeah, it gets.
Well, the operator,
Still
there was
does.
definitely something there too. It was just,
It definitely
was-
gets me.
You can feel it in a couple different places.
How y'all want to settle up the remainder? And then I'll get out of your hair and let you know what you want to do.
You're getting boob money.
I'll get boob money. It's the second time today.
At least it ain't sweaty.
Well, the first time I got changed. That wasn't good. Yeah. Put your change in your bra. Are you kidding me?
You've done it. Don't lie.
No, I haven't put change in my
Liar.
bra. I have had change fall out of my bra, but I don't know how it got there.
Sure.
Next time, we're gonna discuss.
Actually, stripping days.
No.
How she got trashed.
I said my memory's
Is it
shit anyway, and I can't think of anything else to tell y'all, but you can always drop me a text message and maybe call me. Reception of Lake's shit. But just lock it up when you're done. Have fun. Please don't. That's one of the reasons, smaller reason why we quit doing them is because people couldn't leave shit alone.
Yeah. Believe me, we're not gonna
Don't pull plugs out of things, force doors open that aren't open.
Yeah.
You know, just stupid common sense shit.
Is there anything other than obviously we'll clean up our own mess? Is there anything that you'd like us to like take trash out or anything like that?
There is, in that room where I set the heater and I've got the lights on, there's a huge dumpster over there. If you'll just put whatever you've got in that, that'd be great. 'Cause I've got a guy that ain't good for a whole lot, if you know what I'm saying. But he comes up here and
edit that out.
he sweeps it down for me and picks up all the trash and dumps it
Because
after
we
each
certainly don't
event.
mind doing that if we need to. So
Yeah.
we've done that before.
I've got somebody that does that for me.
Heath,
I let him
you're
live
trashing.
here for a while, and that got kind of old because my electric bill went from $1.19 a day to about $4 a day, so he had to go.
Oh.
But
Well, thank you so
I
much.
hope y'all have a great night.
So do we.
Yeah. For me, and if y'all been doing this a while, you'll have your own opinion. Calm, clear, quiet nights for me are the best nights. People like to say, oh, it's a full moon or it's raining. No. Calm, clear nights are the best nights for me. Y'all enjoy. If you need anything, drop me a line.
Thank you so much.
Nice meeting you, man.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
That front door up there. Yes, but that front door is kind of dummy lock. I just pushed it closed and put the lock in the bolt. Okay. But that door right there, if you'll go back there with your flashlight, you'll see what I mean. But please lock it back.
Okay, we will.
Y'all hear that?
I think it was just,
Oh, it's his door.
yeah.
I didn't think he ever opened it.
That way, if you want to get some time in, even Sunday before you go back, and help yourself just as long as it gets locked back up.
Y'all going through it? Y'all get some daylight footage for us? What you want to?
This is that straight hall I was telling you about. You can see from upstairs. This was actually the dining room over here. This side, the other side of that main hall was the cafeteria where they did all the food prep and everything.
I know. I'm like a swimming through there.
Steps.
Got steps on this side.
This other big hall down here is probably the most natural hall in the hospital. It's been molested by us the least. It's basically the hall and the beds that were down here. Well, a few of our bodies on them, but it's primarily, there's no walls built or anything like that. So. But it's double patient rooms all the way down to the end. And the last two rooms on the end was doctor and EMT berthings down there where they slept when they were doing their overnight shifts. Then it's double occupancy rooms both sides to get down there to the last two on the left. The boiler room and that stuff is a little tricky to get to. you can hop and skip back through here. The boiler room and machinery rooms are through the door on the left back there.
What's the vine in the floor?
Yeah, watch the
I found it.
I found it.
back there on the left, because somebody was asking about that.
Yeah,
Boiler
Terry
and
was.
machinery rooms back there on the left. Which is actually,
Down there on the
you can
left.
see that elevator shaft right there?
Yes, sir.
That's the machinery rooms and boiler rooms where they actually kept dead bodies. We didn't have a morgue at this hospital ever while it was open. So when they had a death at night, they just brought them straight down the elevator shaft and around the corner in there until EMTs or the coroner or whoever could come took possession of the body.
So to get over there, you have to go
To go under or come back here and go
over that
over.
way.
So you gotta do a little work to get there.
I've heard a lot of people
Vine in
mention
the
that
floor.
area.
See, it's not a big one for me. It was the first death in the hospital happened back there.
We ran into a guy at the restaurant. What was his, did you say his name? He goes by the Undertaker. He was the Undertaker.
Okay, David. Yeah,
David?
I know him.
So he was saying, go to the boiler room. He goes, you always feel like something's like
See,
right
I'm
on
just
you.
the opposite. The room that gets me is the operating room number 1. It's the one that gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Is it?
But he's been here a lot. He's been working for me for, God, probably 5 or 6 years. So he's had a lot of time here too.
Yeah.
And we used to let them, the actors, we do a award ceremony the Saturday after we close, and we used to let them spend the night. And so he's had a lot of time in here in non-season just with actors investigating, hanging out and looking for things.
So the actors come and investigate too, or?
We didn't do it this year. We had so many minors this year working, but up until this year, for probably 5 or 6 straight years, the weekend after we tore down, we'd let the actors come spend the night and do an investigation. But we didn't want to do it this year because it's just not comfortable with minors
Yeah.
up here in it. And I didn't want to spend the night with them because I had to work. So we didn't do it this year, but they had in the past.
It's so quiet in here, isn't it?
I thought I heard something above us.
I did too.
I thought I heard it too, but there's a bunch of us talking, so I
It's
didn't
like
want to say
somebody
anything.
walked across a wooden floor.
Okay, listen, listen. Shh.
We'll have to check it out.
There's no wooden floors in here except for the teeter-totter floors. So. And that may have been what my actors were talking about, and they said, no, it's not, you know, a tennis shoe walk.
I hear
That may
the
have been what they were
teeter-totter floor's
talking
going
about.
off. If we're all together, it's on.
Right?
That'd be pretty loud right there.
Yeah, and you can hear it. They use it as a marker for know when groups are
Yeah.
coming and how close together they are. I mean, that's kind of the gist of it.
We definitely appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we got everybody but the last guy, and I'm gonna leave him for y'all.
Where's that
Let
guy?
y'all deal with him.
Mark ain't gonna be able to make it through some of these places, so.
No, he'll have a hard time in the basement past right there.
Uh-huh.
But it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Is that him?
Thank
I just realized this. Oh.
Did you just hit your head, Joel?
No, of course not.
Hey, he is.
I'm not the first.
I just fly through here not thinking that other people haven't been here.
Yeah, it's a casket. Cut out casket.
I said, Joel, did you just hit your head? He goes, of course not.
Y'all have eaten over at the
Pharmacy.
it's not a
today.
Waffle House. What is it?
Huddle
Waffle
House.
House, yeah.
And the pharmacy.
That's where we ran.
Where else?
Pharmacy.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's good. Good sandwiches, man.
Huddle House is pretty good sometimes.
It was so cold in there, man.
Yeah, we take our actors twice a year after we close down on Saturdays, and they're pretty good to us.
It's colder in here, I think, than it is outside.
Yeah, I think so.